Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today, let's travel back in time to the sun-drenched hills of ancient Greece, to the realm of gods and goddesses. Among them, one figure stands out, not for her brute force, but for her incredible mind. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, strategy, and calm strength. Athena was never depicted as impulsive or cruel. Her power came from her thoughtfulness, her composure, her ability to see the bigger picture. And as we navigate the journey of aging, I believe Athena's spirit offers us a powerful and beautiful way to look at this chapter of our lives. It's not about decline, it's about a deepening of our own inner wisdom and clarity. Think about it. In our youth, we're often like Ares, the god of war fury. Passionate, quick to react, we rush into things, driven by emotion. But as we gather more years, more experiences, we have the opportunity to embody Athena's wisdom. We learn to pause, to reflect, and to respond with a strategy born from a lifetime of lessons. This isn't just a nice idea. It's a mindset we can actively cultivate. Aging gracefully isn't just about skincare or physical health. Those are important. It's fundamentally about maintaining our mental clarity, our sharpness, our inner peace. It's about becoming the wise elder, the strategist of our own lives. So, how do we tap into this inner Athena? It starts with recognizing that our minds are like muscles. They need to be exercised to stay strong. It's easy to fall into passive routines, like watching TV for hours on end. While relaxing is good, true mental vitality comes from active engagement. Let's talk about strategy. Athena was a master strategist. For us, this means being intentional about our mental diet. What are you feeding your brain? Are you learning a new skill? Maybe picking up that guitar you've always wanted to play. Learning a new language with a fun app, or diving into a subject you've always been curious about. The internet is a treasure trove of free courses on everything from history to coding. The act of learning creates new neural pathways, keeping your brain flexible and resilient. Another one of Athena's tools was her shield, which protected her. For us, our shield against mental fog and decline is our lifestyle. Let's start with nutrition. Foods rich in omega-A23 fatty acids, like salmon and walnuts, are literally brain food. Antioxidants found in berries, leafy greens, and dark chocolate help protect our brain cells from damage. It's not about a restrictive diet, but about strategically adding more of these brain-boosting foods to our plates. Think of each meal as a chance to fortify your mind. And what about physical activity? You don't need to run a marathon. A brisk walk, a gentle yoga session, gardening, or even dancing in your living room gets the blood flowing to your brain. This delivers vital oxygen and nutrients. Exercise has also been proven to stimulate the growth of new brain cells, a process called It's one of the most powerful things you can do for your mental clarity. It's the strategic move that benefits both body and mind. Athena was also known for her calm composure, Eben, in Chaos. This points to one of the most crucial aspects of mental wellness: managing stress. Chronic stress is like a corrosive acid. For the brain, it can impair memory and cognitive function. This is where mindfulness and meditation come in. These practices aren't about emptying your mind, but about observing your thoughts without judgment. They train you to be the calm center in the storm of life. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a profound difference, strengthening your ability to focus and reducing feelings of anxiety. It's like building your own inner Parthenon, a place of peace and resilience. Social connection is another pillar of mental fortitude. We are social creatures. Meaningful conversations, shared laughter, and a sense of belonging are incredibly protective for our brains. Loneliness, on the other hand, can be as detrimental as smoking. So, make that call. Join that club. Volunteer for a cause you care about. These connections stimulate our minds and nourish our souls. They are the alliances we forge in the grand strategy of a well-lived life. And let's not forget the power of good sleep. Sleep is when our brain does its housekeeping. It consolidates memories, clears out metabolic waste, and recharges for the next day. Think of it as the nightly ritual where your brain's temple is cleaned and restored. Prioritizing 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep is not an indulgence. It's a non-negotiable strategy for maintaining mental clarity. So, As we embrace our later years, let's move away from the narrative of decline and step into the power of Athena. Let's see our wrinkles, not as flaws, but as the etchings of wisdom. Let's see our gray hair as a crown of experience. We are not fading, we are sharpening. We are becoming the strategists, the calm leaders, the wise souls of our own stories. Embrace new hobbies, eat foods that nourish your mind, move your body with joy, practice mindfulness, connect with loved ones, and honor your need for rest. By doing so, you are not just aging gracefully, you are aging wisely. You are embodying the timeless strength of Athena, proving that the mind, with care and intention, only grows more brilliant with time. Let's turn to the ancient Greeks for a moment. They had a goddess for almost everything, and for wisdom, strategy, and reason, they had Athena. The stories say she wasn't born as a baby, but sprang forth from the head of Zeus, fully grown and armored, ready for intellectual battle. Athena wasn't a goddess of youthful impulse. She was a symbol of mature, cultivated intellect. Her very existence tells us something powerful. Mental sharpness isn't just for the young. It's a skill, a muscle that can be trained and strengthened throughout our entire lives. This isn't just a myth. Modern science backs this up. The concept is called neuroplasticity, the brain's incredible ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Think of your brain not as a static object, but as a dynamic, living city. Every time you learn something new, solve a puzzle, or have a deep conversation, you're building new roads and pathways in that city. The more you build, the more efficient and vibrant your mental city becomes. So, how do we become the architects of our own mental cities as we age? How do we channel that inner Athena? It starts with embracing the idea of lifelong learning. This doesn't mean you need to go back to school and get another degree, unless you want to. It can be as simple as picking up a book on a topic you know nothing about. Maybe it's the history of the Silk Road, the science of gardening, or the art of baking sourdough bread. Each new piece of information is like a new building block for your brain. Reading is one of the most powerful tools in our arsenal. When we read, we're not just passively absorbing words. We're engaging our imagination, following complex narratives, and connecting ideas. It's a full-body workout for the mind. Try setting a small goal for yourself, maybe 1 book a month, or even just 15 minutes of reading before bed. Mix it up. Read fiction to stretch your empathy and imagination, and non-fiction to build your knowledge base. Join a book club. Discussing what you've read with others adds another layer of mental engagement. It forces you to articulate your thoughts and consider different perspectives, which is fantastic for cognitive flexibility. And what about puzzles? Crosswords, Sudoku, jigsaws, even strategy games on your tablet. These aren't just ways to pass the time. They are direct training for your problem-solving and logical reasoning skills. When you're trying to figure out which puzzle piece fits where, or what 7-letter word means wisdom, you are actively forging those neural pathways Athena would be proud of. These activities challenge your brain to see patterns, make deductions, and think strategically. It's like taking your brain to the gym. But mental clarity isn't all about solitary activities. Meaningful conversation is absolutely crucial. In our increasingly digital world, it's easy to fall into the trap of superficial interactions. But true, deep conversation where you really listen and engage with another person's ideas is incredibly stimulating. Call a friend, schedule a weekly coffee with a family member, or join a community group. Sharing stories, debating ideas, and laughing together nourishes not just our souls, but our minds as well. It keeps us connected and forces our brains to stay active, responsive, and engaged with the world around us. Let's talk about something called cognitive reserve. Think of it as a mental savings account. Throughout your life, every time you learn a new skill, language, or instrument, you're making a deposit. The more deposits you make, the bigger your reserve. This reserve acts as a buffer. So, as we age, if some parts of our brain naturally slow down, a strong cognitive reserve allows the brain to find alternative routes to get the job done. People with a higher cognitive reserve often show greater resilience and maintain their mental functions for longer. It's a direct result of a lifetime of curiosity and learning. So, what are some practical steps you can take starting today? First, get curious. The next time a question pops into your head, don't just dismiss it. Look it up. Watch a documentary about it. Fall down a rabbit hole of discovery. Curiosity is the fuel for lifelong learning. Second, challenge yourself. If you always do the easy crossword, try the harder one. If you've mastered Sudoku, maybe try learning a few chords on a guitar or a new language with an app. The key is to step just outside your comfort zone. That's where the real growth happens. Third, stay social. Make an effort to connect with people. Ask them questions. Listen to their stories. Share your own. Human connection is one of the most complex and rewarding mental exercises there is. And fourth, be mindful. Practices like meditation or simply taking a quiet walk in nature can do wonders for mental clarity. They help reduce stress, which is a known enemy of cognitive function, and improve your ability to focus. A calm mind is a clear mind. The story of Athena teaches us that wisdom isn't something we lose with age. It's something we build. It's the armor we forge through a lifetime of experience, learning, and connection. Aging doesn't have to be a retreat. It can be an advance, a time when we have the freedom and the perspective to cultivate our minds in ways we never could when we were younger. We have the life experience to connect new knowledge with old wisdom, creating a rich tapestry of understanding. Think of the seniors. You admire the ones with a twinkle in their eye, who can tell a great story, offer sage advice, or beat you at a game of chess. They are living proof of this principle. They are modern-day Athenas, demonstrating that a sharp, vibrant mind is one of the greatest treasures of a life well lived. You might know Athena as the goddess of wisdom and warfare, but did you know she was also the patron of crafts, skill, and strategy? This lesser-known aspect of her persona holds a powerful message for all of us, especially as we navigate our golden years. Just as Athena guided the skilled artisans of ancient Greece, her spirit can inspire us to cultivate our own creative talents. So, how does this connect to mental clarity as we age? It's all about purposeful engagement. Think of your brain as a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. Athena's patronage of crafts wasn't just about making beautiful things. It was about the focus, the planning, and the problem-solving involved in creation. This is the very essence of keeping your mind agile. Let's talk about strategy. Athena was a master strategist, never entering a battle without a plan. This teaches us a crucial lesson. We must be strategic about our mental health. It's not something that just happens. It requires a conscious and proactive approach. Just as Athena wouldn't leave victory to chance, we shouldn't leave our cognitive well-being to chance either. This is where creative hobbies come into play. Engaging in activities like painting, writing, gardening, or playing a musical instrument is one of the most effective strategies for maintaining brain health. These aren't just pleasant pastimes. They are powerful cognitive workouts. When you pick up a paintbrush, you're not just choosing colors. You're making decisions about composition, perspective, and light. Your brain is firing on all cylinders, creating new neural connections. Consider writing, whether it's journaling, crafting poetry, or writing your memoir. The act of putting thoughts into words is a complex mental exercise. It organizes your mind, improves memory, and gives you a profound sense of accomplishment. It's a direct conversation with your own inner world, bringing clarity and order to your thoughts and feelings. Gardening is another wonderful example. It connects us to the cycles of nature and requires planning, patience, and physical activity. You have to understand the soil, the seasons, and the needs of each plant. It's a multi-sensory experience that reduces stress and stimulates the brain in a gentle, holistic way. Tending to a garden is like tending to your own mind. Both require care and attention to flourish. And what about music? Learning to play an instrument is one of the best things you can do for your brain at any age. It involves reading music, coordinating your hands, listening intently, and keeping rhythm. It's a full-body, full-brain workout that has been scientifically shown to improve memory, attention, and executive function. The beauty of these activities is that they give us a renewed sense of purpose. In a world that can sometimes feel like it's moving too fast, creating something with your own hands is incredibly grounding. It's a reminder of your capabilities, your creativity, and your unique voice. This sense of purpose is a powerful antidote to feelings of listlessness or decline that can sometimes accompany aging. These hobbies do more than just keep you busy. They bring joy, Pure, simple, unadulterated joy. The satisfaction of seeing a canvas come to life, a garden bloom, or a melody take shape is immeasurable. This joy releases endorphins, reduces stress hormones, and creates a positive feedback loop that motivates you to keep learning and growing. This is the true wisdom of Athena. It's not just about accumulating knowledge. It's about applying that knowledge in skillful, creative, and strategic ways. It's about being an active participant in your life, not a passive observer. It is about understanding that your mind is your greatest asset and taking deliberate steps to protect and nurture it. So, I invite you to channel your inner Athena. What craft is calling to you? Is there a hobby you've always wanted to try but never had the time for? Now is the perfect time. Pick up that guitar, buy that set of watercolors, start that journal. Don't worry about being perfect. The process is the prize. Every brushstroke, every written word, every planted seed is a victory for your brain. Today, we're drawing inspiration from a powerful figure from mythology. Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom, courage, and strategy. Athena wasn't just wise. She was a protector. Her city, Athens, was a bastion of knowledge and culture. She teaches us that wisdom isn't something that just happens. It's something you cultivate, protect, and cherish. We can apply this very same principle to our own cognitive health. Instead of passively worrying about what might happen, let's take an active, Athenian stance. Let's start treating our minds like a sacred temple, a sanctuary that we build, fortify, and maintain with intention and care. So, how do we build this mental temple? Just like any great structure, it stands on strong pillars. For our cognitive health, these pillars are nutrition, sleep, hydration, and continuous mental stimulation. These aren't just vague wellness tips. They are the fundamental building blocks for a sharp, resilient mind that can thrive for decades to come. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore each of these pillars in detail, giving you practical, actionable steps you can start taking today to protect your mind and age with the grace and clarity of Athena herself. Let's start with the first pillar. Nutrition. You've heard the saying, you are what you eat, and this couldn't be truer for your brain. Our brain is an incredibly hungry organ, consuming about 20% of our body's calories and nutrients. It needs the right kind of fuel to function optimally. Think of your diet as the quality of the materials you're using to build your temple. You wouldn't use flimsy wood to build a fortress, right? So, what does brain-healthy food look like? Let's talk about the Mediterranean diet, which is consistently linked to better cognitive function and a lower risk of dementia. This diet is rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and healthy fats, like olive oil. These foods are packed with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. Why is that important? Our brains are susceptible to oxidative stress and inflammation, which are like tiny fires that can damage brain cells over time. Antioxidants are the firefighters that put out these flames. Let's get specific. Berries, especially blueberries, are superstars. They contain flavonoids, which have been shown to improve communication between brain cells and enhance memory. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and broccoli are loaded with brain-boosting nutrients like vitamin K, lutein, and folate. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are rich in omega-3. Fatty acids, omega-3 south, particularly DHA, are a major structural component of our brain cells. They're essential for building and repairing neurons and reducing inflammation. If you're not a fan of fish, walnuts and flax seeds are great plant-based sources. And don't forget the power of spices. Turmeric, which contains curcumin, is a potent anti-inflammatory agent. Adding a little bit of turmeric to your cooking can have significant long-term benefits for brain health. The key is consistency. It's not about a perfect diet, but about making consistent, positive choices. Every colorful plate, every healthy fat, is another strong brick in the foundation of your mental temple. Now, let's move on to our second pillar. Sleep. If nutrition is the building material, sleep is the construction and maintenance crew that works the night shift. We often sacrifice sleep for productivity or entertainment, but this is one of the most damaging things we can do to our cognitive health. During sleep, our brain is anything but dormant. It's incredibly active, performing critical housekeeping tasks. One of the most fascinating discoveries in recent years is the glymphatic system. Think of it as your brain's personal waste disposal service. While you sleep, this system flushes out toxins and metabolic byproducts that accumulate during the day. One of these toxins is beta amyloid, a protein that forms the infamous plaques found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. When we don't get enough quality sleep, this cleanup process is impaired. The toxins build up, increasing our risk for a cognitive decline. So, how much sleep do we need? Most adults need 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. It's not just about the quantity, but the quality. This means creating a sleep-friendly environment. Your bedroom should be dark, quiet, and cool. Avoid screens, phones, tablets, TVs for at least an hour before bed. The blue light they emit can suppress melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. Instead, create a relaxing bedtime routine. This could be reading a book, real paper book, taking a warm bath, listening to calming music, or practicing some light stretching or meditation. This signals to your brain that it's time to wind down. If you struggle with sleep, don't just accept it as a normal part of aging. Talk to your doctor. Prioritizing sleep is a non-negotiable act of self-care and a crucial strategy for preserving your mental clarity for years to come. It's the sacred time when your temple is restored and rejuvenated. Our third pillar is one that is so simple, we often overlook it. Hydration, water. It's the elixir of life, and our brain is about 75% water. Even mild dehydration can have a noticeable impact on our cognitive function. It can impair attention, memory, and other cognitive skills. Think about it. If the moat around your temple dries up, the whole structure becomes vulnerable. When you're dehydrated, your brain tissue can actually shrink. This affects everything from decision-making to mood. You might feel foggy, fatigued, or irritable. As we age, our sense of thirst can diminish, which means we might not even realize we're dehydrated until we're already feeling the effects. This makes it even more important to be proactive about drinking water throughout the day. How much water do you need? A common guideline is about 8 8-ounce glasses, which is about 2 liters, or half a gallon. But this can vary based on your activity level, climate, and overall health. A good rule of thumb is to sip water consistently, even when you don't feel thirsty. Keep a reusable water bottle with you at all times. If you find plain water boring, infuse it with lemon, cucumber, or mint. Herbal teas and water-rich foods, like watermelon and celery, also contribute to your daily intake. Think of hydration as maintaining the lifeblood of your brain. It ensures that nutrients are transported efficiently to your brain cells, and the toxins are flushed away. It keeps the electrical signals firing smoothly. Making hydration a conscious habit is one of the easiest and most effective ways to support your mental acuity every single day. Keep the waters flowing to keep your mind sharp. Finally, we arrive at our fourth and perhaps most engaging pillar, mental stimulation. Athena wasn't just wise. She was a lifelong learner, a strategist, a craftswoman. Her mind was always active. This is the essence of cognitive reserve, the idea that by challenging our brains, we can build a stronger, more resilient neural network. Think of it as adding extra rooms, secret passages, and reinforced walls to your mental temple. If one pathway gets blocked or damaged, your brain has plenty of alternative routes to use. The key here is novelty and challenge. Doing the same crossword puzzle every day is good, but it eventually becomes routine. The brain thrives on learning new things. So, what can you do? The possibilities are endless. Learn a new language. Pick up a musical instrument. Take a dance class. The combination of physical movement, social interaction, and cognitive learning in something like dancing is incredibly powerful for the brain. Engage in activities that require strategic thinking. Play chess, bridge, or other board games. Get involved in your community. Volunteering or joining a club provides social engagement, which is a powerful buffer against cognitive decline. Read widely and on topics that are new to you. Take an online course on a subject you've always been curious about. Even simple things, like taking a different route on your daily walk, or trying to brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand can create new neural pathways. The goal is to stay curious. Embrace a beginner's mindset. Don't be afraid to be bad at something new. The process of learning and struggling is what builds that cognitive reserve. It keeps your mind flexible, adaptable, and sharp. By continuously engaging your mind, you are not just passing the time. You are actively investing in your future cognitive health, honoring the spirit of Athena with every new skill you acquire. So there we have it. The 4 pillars of Athena's wisdom for aging with mental clarity. Nourish your brain with healthy foods, restore it with quality sleep, hydrate it consistently, and challenge it with new learning experiences. These are not drastic, overnight changes. They are daily practices, small acts of devotion to the sacred temple of your mind. Think about the stories of Athena. Was she ever truly alone? No. She was a constant presence in the lives of heroes and the heart of great cities. She advised Odysseus on his long journey home. She guided Perseus in his quest, and she stood as the patron goddess of Athens, a bustling hub of community, art, and philosophy. She wasn't a solitary deity ruling from a distant cloud. She was deeply engaged, an advisor, a mentor, and an ally. Her wisdom wasn't just stored away. It was shared, debated, and put into action within a community. This is a powerful metaphor for our own lives, especially as we navigate the journey of aging. Modern science is overwhelmingly confirming what the ancient myths hinted at. Social connection is not just a nice to have. It's a fundamental need for our cognitive health. Just as Athena thrived through her interactions, our brains thrive on connection. Seniors who maintain strong social ties tend to exhibit better cognitive function, have a lower risk of dementia, and report higher levels of emotional well-being. It's a shield for the mind, much like the aegis she carried. So, what does it mean to be socially connected? It is not about having hundreds of friends on social media or being the life of every party. It's about the quality and depth of our relationships. It's the regular phone call with a sibling, the weekly coffee with a friend, the shared laughter with a grandchild. It's being part of a book club, a walking group, a church choir, or a local volunteer organization. These interactions are like exercise for the social and emotional parts of our brain. When we engage with others, our minds are working in complex ways. We're listening, processing information, recalling memories, reading nonverbal cues, and formulating responses. This intricate dance of communication stimulates multiple neural pathways, keeping them active and strong. A conversation with a friend can be as mentally stimulating as a crossword puzzle, but with the added benefit of emotional support and a sense of belonging. Loneliness, on the other hand, acts like a corrosive force on our mental and physical health. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can be as detrimental to our health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It can increase stress hormones, lead to inflammation, and negatively impact sleep, all of which are enemies of a clear and healthy mind. When we feel isolated, our world can shrink, and our minds can become trapped in a loop of worry and rumination. We lose that external perspective, that sounding board that a trusted friend or family member provides. Think of Athena's relationship with the heroes she guided. She didn't solve their problems for them, but she offered perspective, encouragement, and strategic advice. Our social circles do the same for us when we're facing a challenge, whether it's a health issue, a family problem, or just a difficult day. Talking it through with someone we trust can change everything. They offer new perspectives, share their own experiences, and remind us that we are not alone in our struggles. This sense of shared experience is incredibly powerful for building mental resilience. So, how can we actively cultivate our social connections, our own personal pantheon of allies, as we age? First, be intentional. Social connection doesn't always happen by accident, especially if our circumstances change, such as through retirement or moving to a new area. Make it a priority. Schedule regular meets with friends and family. Put it in your calendar, just like you would a doctor's appointment. These are appointments for your mental well-being. Second, embrace new opportunities. Join a club or a class that aligns with your interests. Have you always wanted to learn painting? Join an art class. Do you love to read? Find a local book club. Community centers, libraries, and places of worship are fantastic resources for finding groups of like-minded people. Stepping into a new group can feel daunting, but remember, Everyone there shares a common interest, which is a perfect starting point for a new friendship. Third, leverage technology wisely. While it's not a complete substitute for face-to-face interaction, technology can be a wonderful tool for staying connected, especially with loved ones who live far away. Video calls allow us to see the smiles and read the expressions of our grandchildren, children, and old friends. It closes the distance in a way a simple phone call can't. There are also online communities dedicated to specific hobbies or interests, which can be a great way to connect with people from all over the world. Fourth, don't underestimate the power of intergenerational connections. Spending time with people of different ages is incredibly enriching. Mentoring a younger person, sharing your life experience and skills, can provide an immense sense of purpose and vitality. Conversely, learning from younger generations perhaps about new technology or new music keeps our minds flexible and open. It bridges gaps and reminds us that we are all part of a continuing story. Athena guided generations of heroes. We too can be guides and learners throughout our lives. And finally, be a good friend. Connection is a two-way street. Reach out to people, ask them how they are doing, and truly listen to the answer. Remember their birthdays. Offer help when you can. Being a source of support for others not only strengthens your relationships, but also your own sense of value and purpose. Giving and receiving support are two sides of the same coin, and both are essential for a healthy social life. The wisdom of Athena teaches us that strength lies not in isolation, but in strategic, supportive alliances. Our mental clarity in our later years depends on the strength of our own alliances, our connections with family, friends, and community. These relationships are the vibrant, living network that keeps our minds engaged, our spirits lifted, and our wisdom ever growing. They are a council of gods, our band of heroes, our bustling Athens. So, how can we channel our inner Athena and face life's challenges with that same unshakable calm? It starts with recognizing that chronic stress isn't just a feeling. It has real, physical effects on our brains. It can fog our thinking, impact our memory, and leave us feeling overwhelmed and anxious. But just as Athena had her spear and shield, we have our own tools to combat stress and protect our mental clarity. The best part: these tools are simple, accessible, and incredibly effective. Let's talk about mindfulness. This isn't some complicated, mystical practice. At its core, mindfulness is simply the art of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Think about it. How often do our minds wander, replaying past events or worrying about the future? This mental chatter is a huge source of stress. Mindfulness brings us back to the here and now. You can start right this second. Just take a moment. Feel the chair supporting you. Notice the air temperature on your skin. Listen to the sounds around you. This simple act of grounding yourself in the present can instantly lower your stress levels. One of the most powerful mindfulness tools is controlled breathing. It's something you carry with you everywhere. When you feel anxiety rising, try this simple exercise, often called box breathing. Inhale slowly for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4. Exhale slowly for a count of 4. And then hold the exhale for a count of 4. Repeat this cycle a few times. This technique directly communicates with your nervous system, signaling it to calm down. It slows your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and brings a sense of peace. It's like having a reset button for your mind, allowing you to approach any situation with the clarity of a wise strategist, just like Athena. Another fantastic way to manage stress and enhance mental clarity is through gentle movement. I'm not talking about running a marathon. Activities like yoga and Tai Chi are perfect. These practices are often called moving meditations because they combine physical postures, breathing techniques, and mental focus. Tai Chi, with its slow, flowing, and deliberate movements, is especially beneficial. It improves balance, which is crucial for preventing falls, but it also cultivates a state of relaxed concentration. As you move through the forms, you're not just exercising your body, you're training your mind to stay focused and calm. Similarly, gentle or restorative yoga can work wonders. Poses are often held for longer periods, supported by props like blankets and pillows. This allows your body to deeply relax and release stored tension. The focus on breath and gentle stretching helps soothe the nervous system and quiet the mind. It's not about achieving the perfect pose. It's about connecting your mind and body, creating a space for tranquility. These aren't just exercises, they are practices in self-care and mental discipline. By incorporating them into our routine, we build resilience against stress. Think of these practices: mindfulness, breathing, yoga, Tai Chi as your personal training ground. Athena didn't become a master strategist overnight. She honed her skills. In the same way, we can train our minds to remain calm and focused. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. When a stressful situation arises, instead of reacting with panic or anxiety, you'll have a toolkit ready to go. You'll be able to take a breath, assess the situation calmly, and make a clear-headed decision. This is the essence of aging gracefully with mental clarity. It's about taking proactive steps to protect your peace of mind. Regulating your mood isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them and not letting them take control. By practicing these techniques, you're not just reducing anxiety in the moment, you're rewiring your brain for long-term resilience. You're fostering an environment where your mind can thrive, stay sharp, and continue to learn and grow, no matter your age. This is the wisdom of Athena in action. Strength found not in force, but in tranquility and clear thought. Let's take a cue from the ancient Greeks. They had a goddess for almost everything, and for wisdom, courage, and inspiration, they had Athena. She wasn't just wise. She was a goddess of strategy and innovation. She represented the brilliant spark of a new idea, the clever solution to a difficult problem. Today, we're going to channel a bit of that Athena-like wisdom and look at technology not as a barrier, but as a powerful tool for aging gracefully and with incredible mental clarity. Think about it. We live in an age of miracles. We carry tiny computers in our pockets that can connect us with anyone, anywhere in the world. But for many older adults, this technological revolution can feel like being left behind. The constant updates, the new apps, the confusing interfaces, it can be frustrating. It's easy to think, this isn't for me. But that's where we need to shift our perspective. Just as Athena would find a strategic advantage in a changing world, we can too. Technology isn't the enemy. It's a bridge to our families, a bridge to new knowledge, and a bridge to a sharper mind. So, how do we start building this bridge? Let's begin with something many of us are already a little familiar with. Connection. Remember the days of waiting for a letter or an expensive long-distance phone call? Now, with a few taps, you can see your grandchild's smile in real time, even if they're a continent away. Platforms like Skype, FaceTime, or Zoom aren't just for business meetings, they are virtual living rooms. Imagine being able to join a family celebration, read a bedtime story to your grandkids, or simply have a coffee and a chat with a dear friend who has moved away. This isn't just about seeing a face on a screen. Neurologically, these visual, interactive connections are incredibly powerful. They fight off the loneliness and isolation that can sometimes creep in as we get older. Loneliness has a physical impact on our brain health, but staying socially engaged, even digitally, keeps those neural pathways firing. It keeps our hearts and minds connected, which is fundamental to our well-being. So, the first step is to embrace these tools, not as complex technology, but as simple windows to the people we love. Now, let's talk about keeping the brain itself active. Our minds are like muscles. If you don't use them, you lose them. In the past, this meant crossword puzzles, or Sudoku. Those are still fantastic. But technology offers a universe of new ways to challenge our brains. Think of brain training apps like Lumacity or Elevate. These aren't just simple games. They are designed by neuroscientists to target specific cognitive functions like memory, attention, problem solving, and mental flexibility. They're fun, they're engaging, and they adapt to your skill level. So you're always being challenged, just the right amount. Spending just 10 to 15 minutes a day with these apps can feel like taking your brain to the gym. It's a proactive way to maintain your cognitive reserves and build mental resilience. Remember Athena's strategic mind. This is how we train our own strategic thinking, keeping our minds agile and ready for any puzzle life throws at us. But it doesn't stop with games. The internet is the largest library in the history of the world, and it's open 24/7. Have you always wanted to learn Italian? Or maybe understand the history of the Silk Road? Or perhaps you've been curious about gardening in small spaces. Websites like Coursera, edX, and even YouTube itself offer thousands of free courses and tutorials on literally any subject imaginable. Learning something new is one of the best ways to keep your brain healthy. It forces your mind to create new neural connections, a process called neuroplasticity. It doesn't matter what you choose to learn. The act of learning itself is the magic ingredient. This is the essence of Athena's wisdom. The pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey. You can attend a lecture from a Harvard professor from the comfort of your couch. You can learn to play the guitar, master a new recipe, or dive into digital photography. The possibilities are truly endless. This isn't just about staving off cognitive decline. It's about enriching your life, discovering new passions, and staying curious and engaged with the world. Let's also consider the practical side. Technology can make daily life simpler and safer, reducing stress, which is a major factor in cognitive health. Smart home devices can help you turn off lights or adjust the thermostat with just your voice. Online grocery shopping can save you the hassle of a trip to the store. Health apps can remind you to take medications, track your blood pressure, or even guide you through simple at-home exercises and meditations. Meditation apps like Calm or Headspace are particularly brilliant. They teach mindfulness techniques that are scientifically proven to reduce stress, improve focus, and promote a sense of well-being. By simplifying daily tasks and managing stress, technology frees up our mental energy for the things that truly matter: connecting with loved ones, learning, and enjoying our lives. This is Athena's strategic side in action, using modern tools to create a more efficient and harmonious life. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but where do I even start? It's too confusing, and that's a valid concern. The key is to start small and be patient with yourself. You don't need to become a tech expert overnight. Maybe your first step is simply asking a grandchild to show you how to video call, or visiting your local library. Many offer free classes on basic computer and internet skills for seniors. There are countless how-to videos right here on YouTube for anything you want to learn. The trick is to approach it with curiosity, not fear. Think of it as a new adventure, a new skill to master. Every small victory, whether it's sending your first email or completing your first online brain game, will build your confidence. What we're really talking about is a mindset shift. It's about seeing technology not as an obstacle of modern life, but as an ally. An ally in our quest for a vibrant, engaged, and mentally sharp later life. Athena was the goddess of wisdom, but also of craft and skill. Learning to use these digital tools is simply a new craft, a new skill for the 21st century. By embracing them, we are not just adapting to a changing world. We are actively shaping our own future, ensuring our minds remain as bright and brilliant as they always be. We are taking control of our cognitive health and our social connections. We often talk about what seniors can do for themselves, but the community around them, particularly those in caring professions, holds immense power. Imagine a healthcare system that doesn't just see a patient, but a person with a lifetime of stories, knowledge, and wisdom. This is the essence of Athena's guidance. Approaching care with profound respect and dignity. When a doctor or a caregiver truly listens, they're not just diagnosing a symptom. They're acknowledging a human being. They're creating a space where the senior feels seen, heard, and valued. This simple act of deep listening is transformative. It builds trust and empowers individuals to be active participants in their own health journey, rather than passive recipients of care. Think about it. When you feel respected, aren't you more likely to engage, to ask questions, to share what's really going on? This is crucial for accurate diagnosis and effective care, especially when it comes to mental clarity. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy, teaches us that guidance must be given with dignity, never condescension. This is a critical lesson for anyone in a caregiving role. It's easy to fall into a pattern of speaking down to older adults, simplifying language unnecessarily, or making decisions for them without their input. But this strips away their autonomy and can be incredibly damaging to their self-esteem and mental well-being. True wisdom in caregiving is about partnership. It's about presenting options clearly, explaining the why behind a recommendation, and respecting their final decision. It's the difference between saying, "You need to do this," and asking, "Here are the options we have. What are your thoughts?" How does this feel to you? This honors their intelligence and life experience. Moreover, healthcare providers and caregivers are in a unique position to be champions of mental engagement. They can be the ones to introduce new activities, suggest brain-stimulating games, or connect seniors with community groups. Instead of just managing physical health, they can actively encourage the pursuit of hobbies, learning, and social connection. They can ask, "What have you been reading lately?" Or have you thought about joining that art class you mentioned? These questions signal that a person's intellectual and social life is just as important as their physical health. By encouraging mental engagement, they are not just providing care. They are nurturing the spirit and honoring the wisdom that Athena represents. They are helping to keep the mind sharp, agile, and full of life. Let's also consider the environment of care itself. Is it a place that stimulates the mind or dulls it? A sterile, unengaging environment can accelerate cognitive decline, but a space filled with books, music, opportunities for social interaction, and respect for individual routines can be a sanctuary for mental clarity. Caregivers and healthcare facilities have a responsibility to create these enriching environments. They can organize group discussions, bring in guest speakers, or facilitate creative projects. It's about seeing a care home not as an endpoint, but as a new chapter, a community where wisdom is celebrated and shared. This approach benefits everyone. When caregivers treat seniors with dignity, the relationship becomes more rewarding and less stressful. It fosters a positive atmosphere built on mutual respect. For healthcare providers, it leads to better patient outcomes and a more fulfilling practice. Most importantly, for the seniors themselves, it validates their life, supports their mental acuity, and allows them to age not just with grace, but with the power and clarity of their own inner Athena. They continue to be teachers, mentors, and vital members of our society, sharing the profound wisdom they've gathered over a lifetime. Athena wasn't just wise, she was a strategist. She saw the bigger picture, planned ahead, and acted with intention. This is the first lesson for us. Aging with mental clarity isn't something that just happens. It's something we cultivate. It's an active process, a strategy we can implement in our daily lives, starting right now, no matter our age. So, what's in Athena's playbook for a sharp mind? First and foremost, never stop learning. Our brains thrive on novelty and challenge. Just like a muscle, the brain needs exercise to stay strong. This doesn't mean you have to go back to school and get a PhD, unless you want to. It can be as simple as picking up a new hobby. Have you always wanted to learn to play the guitar? Or maybe try your hand at watercolor painting? Or perhaps mastering a new language? Each new skill you learn creates new neural pathways, fortifying your brain against cognitive decline. It's about staying curious, about saying yes to new experiences that stretch your mind in delightful ways. Think of your brain as a garden. You need to constantly plant new seeds and tend to them for it to flourish. Next up is the power of connection. We are social creatures, hardwired for a community. Athena was a central figure on Mount Olympus, constantly engaging with gods and mortals alike. Meaningful social interactions are incredibly potent for our mental health. They challenge us to listen, to empathize, to communicate all complex cognitive tasks. Loneliness, on the other hand, can be detrimental to our mental and emotional well-being. So, make time for friends and family. Join a book club, a walking group, or a volunteer organization. Share stories, laugh, debate. These connections are the threads that weave a strong, resilient, cognitive fabric. They remind us that we are part of something larger than ourselves, which is a powerful buffer against the anxieties that can accompany aging. Now, let's talk about the body, because the mind and body are inextricably linked. You can't have a sharp mind and a neglected body. Athena was also a warrior, which tells us something about the importance of physical strength and vitality. Regular physical activity is non-negotiable. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, delivering the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function optimally. It also helps reduce stress and improve mood, which are crucial for clear thinking. You don't have to run a marathon, a brisk walk in the park, a gentle yoga session, dancing in your living room. Find what you enjoy and make it a consistent part of your routine. The same goes for nutrition. A diet rich in fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, and lean proteins, often called a Mediterranean diet, fittingly enough is like premium fuel for your brain. Think of it as honoring the vessel that carries your brilliant mind. Another cornerstone of Athena's wisdom is reflection and mindfulness. She was a goddess of strategy, which requires quiet contemplation. In our fast-paced world, we often forget the power of stillness. Practices like meditation, journaling, or simply spending quiet time in nature can do wonders for our mental clarity. They help us filter out the noise, organize our thoughts, and manage stress. Stress is a major enemy of a clear mind, flooding our system with cortisol, which can impair cognitive function over time. By learning to calm our minds and be present in the moment, we build a mental fortress, a sanctuary of peace and clarity that we can retreat to whenever we need it. This isn't about emptying your mind. It's about becoming the calm, observant master of it. Let's also embrace the power of play. Yes, play. Athena, for all her seriousness, understood the value of creativity and cleverness. Playfulness keeps our minds flexible and adaptive. Engage in puzzles, brain teasers, or board games. Share jokes with friends. Allow yourself to be silly and spontaneous. Laughter is a fantastic medicine for the mind, releasing endorphins and creating a sense of joy and connection. A mind that plays is a mind that stays young. It helps us see problems from new angles and keeps us from getting stuck in rigid ways of thinking. And finally, let's talk about purpose. What gets you out of bed in the morning? Having a sense of purpose is a powerful driver of cognitive health and longevity. It gives our lives direction and meaning. For some, it might be mentoring younger generations, sharing the wisdom they've accumulated over a lifetime. For others, it could be a creative project, community involvement, or caring for a garden. It doesn't have to be a grand, world-changing mission. It just has to be something that matters to you. This sense of purpose fuels our engagement with the world and gives our minds a reason to stay sharp and active. It is the North Star that guides our journey. Let's walk with Athena's spirit, thoughtful, curious, and serene. In every elder, there is a strategist who has navigated decades of life's complexities. There's a storyteller with a library of tales richer than any book. There's a sage whose insights are polished by time. Their clarity isn't a thing of the past, it is a light that shines within them, waiting to be honored and shared. This isn't about fighting age. It's about embracing the wisdom it brings. One of the greatest gifts of aging is the development of what psychologists call crystallized intelligence. This is the sum of your knowledge, your vocabulary, your understanding of the world. While fluid intelligence, your ability to solve new problems, quickly might peak in younger years. Crystallized intelligence continues to grow, often well into your 70s and beyond. Think of your mind like a magnificent oak tree. It may grow slower in its later years, but its roots run deeper, its branches are stronger, and it provides more shade and shelter than ever before. This is the wisdom we should celebrate. So, how do we cultivate this Athena-like mental clarity as we age? The first key is lifelong learning. Athena was never without her curiosity. Keep your mind engaged. Read books on subjects you know nothing about. Learn a new language or a musical instrument. Take a class at a local community college. The brain, like any muscle, thrives on exercise. The act of learning creates new neural pathways, keeping your mind flexible and sharp. It's not about becoming an expert. It's about the joy of discovery. The second pillar is strategic living, another of Athena's domains. This means being intentional about your health. Good nutrition, regular physical activity, and adequate sleep are not just for your body. They are foundational for your brain. Foods rich in antioxidants, like berries and leafy greens, help protect your brain cells. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, delivering vital oxygen and nutrients. And the sleep. Sleep is when your brain cleans house, consolidating memories and clearing out toxins. A well-rested mind is a clear mind. The third element is connection. Athena was a protector of the city, a goddess deeply involved in the community. Humans are social creatures. Meaningful relationships and a strong social network are incredibly protective for our mental health. Engaging in conversation, sharing stories, and feeling a sense of belonging combat feelings of isolation and keep our cognitive functions active. Join a club, volunteer, or simply make it a point to call a friend. Each connection is a thread in the strong, resilient web of your mental well-being. And let's not forget the power of mindfulness and serenity. Athena was known for her calm demeanor in the face of chaos. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, or even just spending quiet time in nature can reduce stress, which is a major enemy of mental clarity. Chronic stress floods the brain with cortisol, which can damage brain cells over time. By cultivating a state of inner peace, you are actively protecting your cognitive health. You're choosing strategy over stress. Consider the stories of those who have aged with extraordinary mental acuity. Think of artists who produced their masterpieces in their later years, scientists who made groundbreaking discoveries, or grandparents whose advice is the bedrock of their families. These individuals didn't stop living or learning. They embraced their age as a new chapter, one filled with unique strengths and perspectives. They are modern-day embodiments of Athena's wisdom. Their clarity is not behind them, it is within them, waiting to be honored. When we look at an older person, we should see not what is lost, but what has been gained. We see a strategist, a survivor, a leader. We see a library of human experience. By shifting our perspective, we not only honor them, but we also create a more positive and empowering path for our own future selves. We begin to look forward to the wisdom and peace that aging can bring. So, as we move forward, let's carry this vision with us. Let's challenge the narrative of decline and instead champion a story of growth, wisdom, and enduring clarity. Let's build habits that nurture our minds today, so they may serve us with strength and grace for all our years to come. Let's find the Athena within ourselves, the part that is forever curious, forever strategic, and forever wise. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration today. I hope it's given you a new and inspiring perspective on the journey of aging. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content that celebrates wisdom and mindful living. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you cultivate mental clarity in your own life? I'd love to read your stories. Until next time, stay curious and live wisely.